asked Tad Hickman, our county attorney, to come down. We asked him to come give a legal perspective, along with some other law enforcement as well, for various reasons. Thank you, Tad.
I knew Melanie really well. I coached her when she was just a little shaver at softball. I knew her most of her life. I represented her as an attorney for her. She was a very special young lady, just like all of you who are sitting here are really special people. But she's not around to enjoy life anymore, and you've had a lot of people tell you today about how you need to watch what you're doing so you don't get into that same situation. And this is really serious stuff. And you don't know, you don't realize how hard it is for Melanie's mom and dad to be here, and her family to be here and have that suffering and that pain that they have, but yet they want to help, and they want to help you guys so that your families don't have the same pain and suffering that they have. So I guess we could say that maybe because of Melanie's death, there's been some good things that have come from that. It's hard, that's a tough thing to say, but it is in that it's an opportunity for all of you to realize that you want to stay out of those situations. You want to help people that you see are suffering, and you want to try to do the right thing and maybe save a life. Now, I'm the county attorney. I prosecute cases that involve young people, or doesn't have to be young people, anybody who is illegally possessing drugs. The possession of a controlled substance without a prescription is a felony. So, what does that mean? Well, that means you could go to prison for up to 5 years. You could pay up to a $10,000 fine. And you could lose a lot of opportunities in your life to do things. You lose your right to vote. You lose your right to carry a firearm, to own a firearm. If you're a hunter, you lose the opportunity to do that. And also, this felony will be with you the whole rest of your life. You try to apply for jobs, you try to get into schools, you try to get professional degrees, and that felony is going to follow you forever. So one, you cannot possess a controlled substance without a prescription. You can't give somebody a controlled substance. That's delivery of a controlled substance. That's a Class 3 felony in Nebraska. That carries a possible penalty of up to 20 years in prison and up to a $25,000 fine. And think about that. Think about spending 20 years of your life in prison. Just because you gave somebody some pills that you thought were maybe harmless, or that somebody said, I've got a little pain, and so you give them some pills. That's what happened here, folks. That's what happened in Melanie's case. The weekend that she passed away, she had a friend who she thought was a friend who brought her pills. These were a controlled substance, a painkiller, hydrocodone. And Melanie had asked for them because she had been suffering from pain. But this person gave these to her. She took them. And as Jen said, she had been drinking. She'd been drinking a lot. She was on some other medications at the time. But by the taking of these pills, it created a terrible concoction that ended up taking her life. Now, maybe that night, maybe because of the amount of alcohol she had consumed and the other medications that she was on, her prescription drugs, maybe that would have been enough to end her life anyway. But the fact of the matter is, on this date, she was given some pills by somebody else. That's a felony. And that person faced charges. The charges were plea bargained down, but he still was convicted of a felony. He's a young man now who's going to be facing this felony on his record now for the rest of his life. So you need to be aware of the consequences of what you're doing when you do these things with these medications. You cannot be giving medications like that to somebody else. That's a felony. You cannot possess those things without a prescription. That's a felony. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about other consequences, though, of other drugs. And I'm going to just talk just about the drug of choice, it seems to be anymore, besides alcohol, is marijuana. And I know we've got people in this room right now who are smoking marijuana. Not right now, but they're smoking marijuana. They're smoking marijuana in social settings, or they're possessing it in their cars. You cannot do that. Possession of less than an ounce of marijuana in Nebraska carries only a penalty of up to a $300 fine for the first offense. Second offense, the fine's more, and you could look at serving some time in jail. But you need to understand this. You get picked up, you get prosecuted, you get convicted for possessing a less than an ounce of marijuana, and you go to college and you try applying for some federally funded scholarship program, you can't get it. Just because you might have had a little bit of marijuana. That's a serious consequence. The other thing you need to understand is that by doing those things, possessing marijuana, possessing controlled substances, minor in possession, you're affecting not only your own lives, but you're affecting the lives of your family, and your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters. You don't know, you don't realize when mom and dad get that call, that, oh, mom and dad, guess what? I got an MIP. You don't understand what that does to a parent. You don't understand how it just breaks their heart to know that the person they thought they could trust has gone and violated that trust. Think about those things. Not only is it illegal to do this stuff, but you're also affecting the ones that love you. Alright? So, make good choices, make wise choices. Don't do things that are going to affect you for the rest of your life. Don't do things that could cost you your life or cost somebody else their life. Alright? Thanks.